before this previously we have a function of fxy. Fxy, let's say xy cubed plus cos xy minus 10, let's say minus 5y squared, just like that. Okay, we have this. But now for implicit case, implicit means implicit. Implicit means the dependent variable embed in the equation itself. Okay, for example, for implicit equation, we will have something like this. Let's say we have x z squared minus or plus cos xyz equals to exponent x plus z, like this. Okay, let's say z tu sebagai subject, but we cannot factor out the z. So z embed inside the equation itself. Okay, so for this type of equation, we need to differentiate this implicitly. Okay, that's what it means by implicit partial differentiation. The implicit, dia embed dalam equation tu juga variable z tu. Okay, so dia lain dengan previous equation lah. Previous equation kita hanya ada x dengan y. In fact, kalau ada x, y, z sekalipun dia mestilah w lah. Okay, something like that. But for implicit, z tu, the subject is embed inside the equation tu sendiri. Okay. For example, let's take a look at exercise 3.4. Actually, we have two methods. I will explain both methods to you first. Okay, exercise 3.4. All right. Oops, sorry, this one. Okay, so exercise 3.4. Let us do question number 1. Okay, it said that we have a function. Okay, as you notice here, see the variable z embedded inside the function itself. Okay, dia berada dalam function tu sendiri. Dia bukan satu subjek yang berada dekat luar sebelah on right hand side. On left hand side. Dia memang berada dalam function itu. So bila soalan macam ni, you kena solve implicitly. Secara implicit lah. Okay, so for question number 1, we have let me rewrite the equation. 3x squared plus 5y squared plus 4z squared to the power of 3 over 2 equals to 7. Okay, I will show you the solution for the first method. Okay, let's say kita solvekan del z del x lah. Find del z del x. Okay, find del z del x. Alright, first method. Not first step tapi first method. Dia ada dua cara solution, guys. There are two solutions to solve this type of question, implicit differentiation. Okay, so now let us learn the first method. The first method is by using direct differentiation. Okay, we differentiate both sides. Differentiate both sides with respect to x. Okay, sebab soalan nak del z del x, so differentiate both sides with respect to x. Okay guys, so in this case, alright, when we want to differentiate with respect to x, we need to consider, okay, first method ni kita consider x and z variables, both variables. Okay, untuk first method ni kita consider dua variables, x dengan z variables. So dalam case first method ni, y jadi constant lah. Sebab soalan nak del z del x, kita buat del z del x. Okay, so we differentiate both sides. So guys, what happened to the both side meaning that sebelah sini, this is left hand side. and this is right hand side. So we differentiate both sides. Okay, so we will have del over del x 3x squared plus 5y squared plus 4z squared to the power of 3 over 2. This is for the left hand side. And then for the right hand side, again, you have to differentiate del over del x of 7. Okay, so now guys, as I mentioned earlier, okay, we consider x and z as variable. Okay, we consider x and z as variable. All right, so we will have differentiate 3x. Okay, before that, differentiate this, we will have 3 over 2, bring the power to the front, this power to the front, okay, and then copy everything, 3x squared plus 5y squared plus 4z squared, 3 over 2 minus 1, so becomes 1 over 2. Multiply by, differentiate inside this bracket.
6x.
Yes, so we will have differentiate 3x squared, we get 6x. Okay, guys, plus. Now, there are two variables, remember? So you have to differentiate also 4z squared. So plus, differentiate 4z squared, we will have
8z.
8z, okay, 8z. However, for this, we need to put del z over del x. Okay, untuk differentiate z, you kena letak del z over del x. Okay, why? Why in 6x we don't have del z over del x? Because for this term, differentiate with respect to x, this is del x over del x kan? Dia jadi 1 equals to 1. That's why dia tak ada del x over del x tu. Tapi untuk 8z ni, dia differentiate z with respect to x guys. So that's why dia ada del z over del x. So ni untuk first method. First method tu wajib macam tu. Dia mesti kalau you differentiate z, it must be coupled with del z over del x. Kalau terhadap y, del z over del y lah. Okay, understand this? Understand guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, doctor.
Alright, so now we differentiate. Okay, so settle already for this. And then differentiate the right hand side. So differentiate this with respect to x, we will get what?
0.
0. Okay, we will get 0. So basically, okay guys, this divide by 0, we will have 6x plus 8z del z over del x equals to 0. So we will have del z over del x equals
Negative
to
6x over 8z.
yes, negative 6x over 8z. Okay, now we can simplify this as negative 3x over 8z. So this is the solution for the first method. First method. Ini kaedah yang pertama. Okay, the second method, kaedah yang kedua, or sometimes we call this as the alternative method. It's much
negative 3 over 4.
Negative 3 over 4. Okay, thank you very much. Negative 3 over 4. Okay, for the second method, okay, this method is much easier, guys, compared to the first method. Second method ni, and I would like to suggest my students to use second method supaya you tak tersilap bila in differentiate terhadap z tu. Okay, so for the second method, or sometimes we call this as alternative method, we have something like this. Okay, if you want to differentiate with respect to x, we have a formula, negative, don't forget negative, f subscript x divided by f differentiate with respect to z. Dia terbalik, dia switch. Okay, if this is the denominator, then it becomes the numerator. Okay, kalau dia dekat bawah, dia jadi dekat atas. Alright, and then if you want to find del z over del y, the formula is negative also, but now we have f y lah. Okay, we divides by fz. So we have two formulas for the second method. For the second method ni, you akan ada dua formula ni lah. This method is really, trust me, it's very easy compared to the first method. So it's better for you to use the second method. I will explain why. I will explain why because, okay, let me copy this again for question number 1 today. Question number 1. Okay, I will explain why. All right. So let's say again we want to find del z del x. Okay, so find del z del x. All right, but now we want to use the second method. Second method ni, method kedua ni, alternative method. So we will have the formula is equals to negative fx over fz. Okay, first step, what you should do is you need to let f, x, y, and z, okay, equals to this equation, all of this. Okay, so fx, y, z equals to 3x squared plus 5y squared plus 4z squared to the power of 3 over 2 minus 7. Equate this with 0. Okay, you have to move 7 to the left hand side here. So becomes negative 7. Itu step pertama. In marking scheme, in answer scheme, this is 1 mark, guys. 1 mark. Satu markah you buat macam ni, you dapat 1 markah dah. Okay, this is the first step before we can use the second method. Okay, ini first step untuk guna formula tu lah. Alright, after that, we need to find the fx. So f differentiate with respect to x. So of course, when we differentiate f with respect to x, so we just consider only one variable, which is x as the variable. Okay, kita hanya consider satu saja jadi variable. So the rest y and z becomes constant. Okay, becomes constants. Dia terbalik dengan tadi. Kenapa dia complicated, guys? Sebab tadi you kena consider dua variables ni, x dengan z jadi variables. So it's complicated sebab nanti you akan ada product rule whatsoever. But now for this case, by using the second method, only one variable. Okay, hanya x saja variable, depends on the alphabet here lah. Okay, kalau fy differentiate tak ada y, y lah variable So now guys, for this solution, you can set this function with respect to x only. Okay, so as usual, we can have 3 over 2 multiplied by 3x squared plus 5y squared plus 4z squared to the power of 3 over 2 minus 1 is 1 over 2. And then multiply by this one we have. So you just need to differentiate this. Yeah, 6z. So, and then differentiate negative 7, we get 0. So that's it. So that is fx. Next, you need to find fz. So find fz by differentiating this function. Again, 3 over 2, 3x squared plus 5y squared plus 4z squared to the power of 1 over 2. And then now you need to differentiate 4z squared. So we will have 8z. Okay, again, differentiate negative 7, we get 0. So thus...
Dah.
Ya saya.
6z ke 6x?
6x. Oh, hari petang-petang selalu gini saya. Thank you very much. Alright, so del z over del x equals to negative. Don't forget the negative guys. Kalau you terlupa negatif ni, habis semua markah hilang. So fx over fz, we will have equals to negative. Okay, 3 over 2. Kalau you tengok dia sama atas dengan bawah kan. So you tak payah tulis pun tak apa. Okay, no need for you to write this. You just put, sebab ni sama kan. Ni, the whole thing ni sama je dengan bawah kan. So ini bahagi ni habis kan. So tinggal, so just left this and this. Okay, so you will have negative 6x divided by 8z. So equals to negative 3x over 4z. Okay, that's it. So this is how we differentiate implicitly using the second method, using alternative formula. Okay, so now let's take a look at question number 2. Okay, question number 2 ni, let me do for the case of del z del y pula. Tadi saya cari del z del x kan. For question number 2, let us do for del z del y. Okay, question 2. Okay, let's say find del z del y. Okay, so del z del y by using the second method lah. Okay, second method dia lebih mudah daripada first method. Okay, so by using the second method, del z del y is equivalent to negative fy over fz. Alright, so we need to find the first one, the first step is we need to let fxyz equals to ln 4y squared minus 3x plus 2z cubed minus 5x. Okay, minus 5x. So next, find fy equals to, okay, differentiate ln.
1 over function.
Yes, okay, for example, let us recall back. Recall. If we have y equals to ln 3x, so find y prime, 1 over 3x multiplied by differentiate inside this bracket, right? With respect to x. So we will have 3. Then we will have 1 over x. Okay, so the same thing happened here. So differentiate ln everything. So 1 over everything here. 4y squared minus 3x plus 2z cubed. Multiply by differentiate with respect to y lah. Sekarang ni y kan. So differentiate with respect to y. Which term yang you nak differentiate ni?
Y.
Y, 4y squared. Okay, so differentiate 4y squared, we will get?
Y.
8y. Okay, now how about this? Differentiate negative 5x with respect to y. We'll get what?
0.
0. So you just leave your answer like this. Okay. So you have this. And then differentiate fz. Alright, differentiate fz. Again, 1 over the whole thing. So 4y squared minus 3x plus 2z cubed. But now we need to differentiate what?
Z.
Z. So you have to differentiate 2z cubed. What happened?
6z cube.
6z squared, right? 6z squared. Okay, so this. Okay, guys. Del z over del y equals to negative fy over fz equals to, okay, negative 8y, saya buat kurungan lah. 8y divides by 4y squared minus 3x plus 2z cubed. Okay, this is your fy divides by your fz is 6z squared over 4y squared minus 3x plus 2z cubed. Okay, so now you can cancel this. Okay, cancel this, the denominator. So therefore the final answer should be equals to negative 8y divided by 6z squared, or you can simplify this as negative 4y over 3z squared. Okay, so that's it. That's the answer for del z over del y. Okay, understand the second method ni guys?
Faham.
Alright, so now let's say we proceed to question number 3. Question number 3 ni, ni. Copy. Okay, question number 3. Okay, let's say now kita cari del z del x. Find del z del x. Okay, you imagine guys, kalau you guna first method kan, imagine you guna first method tadi yang kena differentiate right hand side dengan left hand side tu. You bayangkan first method x dengan z variable kan, so you bayangkan ini you kena guna product rule ni. Z ada kat sini, dalam ni pun z. Dalam ni nak differentiate ni pun kena product rule, which means that kalau you pakai first method, you have to use product rule inside product rule. 2 kali product rule tau untuk solve ni kalau you guna first method. Alright? You faham tak apa maksud saya?
Faham.
Kalau awak guna kaedah first method tadi tu, awak bayangkan nak cari del Z del X, variable dia Z dengan X kan, dua-dua ni variable tau. So Z ni variable, cos X, Y, Z, nak differentiate cos, misal kata ni U, ni V prime, okay, misal kata U, V prime ni, you nak cari V prime pun dah satu hal dah. Kenapa? Sebab ni pun darab juga X dengan Z. Maksudnya you dah buat product rule. Nak selesaikan dalam kurungan ni pun you kena guna product rule lagi sekali. Okay? That's why I always suggest my student to use the second method lah. Okay? Because the second method not as complicated as the first method. Alright? So jom kita proceed. By using the second method, this is equals to negative fx over fz. Okay, so bila guna second method, it is much easier. Okay. So now we let fxyz equals to x squared plus z cos xyz minus 3, like this. Okay, don't forget, move this to the left hand side, move here. Okay, after that, we find fx. Okay, see, when you use the second method, only x the variable. So, bila x yang variable, you tak perlu pakai product rule pun untuk term yang ni. Sebab hanya x saja variable. And then, z dengan y adalah constant. Okay, hanya x saja variable. So we just differentiate with respect to x. So differentiate x squared, we will get 2x. Okay, then differentiate z cos xyz.
Yz squared and negative yz squared negative sign.
Okay, so we have differentiate cos, we get negative. And the constant here is y and z. Okay, so we should bring this constant to the front. So we have z multiplied by yz, so we have yz squared. Okay, in differentiate cos, we get sine now, of course. So sine xyz. Okay, so yang ni saya boleh padam. Dia akan jadi negatif lah. Macam tu. 2x minus yz squared sine xyz. Okay, how about negative 3? We get 0 lah. Okay, next. Find fz. Okay, fz differentiate with respect to z pula. So differentiate with respect to z. Z is the variable. Z is the variable. Yes, sekarang baru you guna product rule. Okay, sebab z ni variable. Okay, so here we have z, right here also we have z. So let's say this is u and this is your v lah. Okay, so first of all, differentiate x squared, of course we get 0, and then differentiate z u v prime. So u is z, z v prime. Differentiate cos xyz with respect to z. We will have negative, what's the constant?
Xy.
Yes, xy. So xy sine xyz. Okay, close. This is uv prime. uv prime. Okay, so plus vu prime. V is cos xyz. Multiply by differentiate z, we get 1. So this is vu prime. Okay, so we will have fz equals to negative xyz sine xyz plus cos xy and z. Okay, therefore this, we can proceed. Del z over del x equals to negative, don't forget the negative, fx divided by fz, so we will have negative, open the bracket, so fx is 2x minus yz squared sine xyz. Okay, divides by your fz. Fz is negative xyz sine plus cos xyz. Okay,
Kalau
that's it.
factorize negatif bawah tu boleh ke?
You nak factorize yang mana? Negatif kat bawah. You nak factorize. You tak payahlah factorize mana, sama je. Kalau you, okay, dia macam ni guys, ideal one lah. Kalau you darab negatif ni ke dalam ni, if you multiply negatif here and here, so jadi terbalik lah. Kalau you nak darab kat bawah pun boleh jadi terbalik jugalah. Dia akan jadi positif kat sini and then negatif kat sini. So ideal one lah, you tak boleh darab negatif dulu both sides So ideal one lah, kalau you nak darab kat atas saja, nak darab kat bawah saja. Okay? You tak boleh cancel, you tak boleh cancel ni tau. Ni dengan ni tak boleh, cannot. Sebab ni ada tambah, plus. Okay, so you cannot cancel like that. No. So to be safe, just leave your answer like this. Tinggal macam ni je. Ataupun, kalau you rajin nak darab masuk dalam, you akan jadi yz squared sin xyz minus 2x divided by cos xyz minus xyz sin xyz. Macam tu. Yang bawah ni saya maintain ni positif negatif sama je kat bawah. Yang atas je saya ubah. Understand?
Yes.
Okay, understand guys the step for the second method? Okay.
Yes.
Alright. So it's better for you to use the second method lah. Okay? Unless kalau you dah expert, nak pakai first method boleh. Setengah student dia rasa dia lebih selesa dengan first method. It's okay, doesn't matter. You can use this first method. Alright. So now, okay, question number 4 is very simple. Sangat simple guys. Equation dia macam ni je. So you just need to differentiate. Dia kata slope in x direction. Of course lah, you kena cari del z over del x. Okay, and then in y direction, del z over del y. Simple sangat ni equation dia. So no need lah, you think Sebab you punya equation akan jadi macam ni. Z x squared plus y squared plus z squared minus 9 over 25 equals to 0. So you just differentiate x squared je. Simple sangat ni soalan ni. Okay, so let's take a look at the tutorial question. Kita cari soalan yang susah sikit. Implicit differentiation. Ini chain rule. Mana implicit. Okay, let's take a look at this question. Implicit kan? Okay, implicit function ni. Question number 18. Salah lagi. Tutorial chapter 3. Question number 18. Okay, this here. So you are given this function and the question asks you to find del z over del y. Of course, when we use the second method, this is equivalent to negative what?
Fy over fz.
Yes, fy over fz. Okay, so first step, what to do? We let fx, y, and z equals to ln xy plus cos xy plus x squared z minus, ni bawa ke sebelah kiri, left hand side, minus x over y plus 1. Equate this with 0. Okay, so that is your function now. Next, we need to find fy. Find fy, so of course y is the variable. Okay, so y is the variable. So now ln xy.
1 over xy.
So we will have 1 over xy multiplied by What's the constant now?
Oh, X.
X, the constant. So multiply by X. Okay, and then plus or minus differentiate cost.
Negative.
Okay, negative, so minus. Okay, so now what's the constant?
X.
Kali dia apa? X. Okay, so X ni bawa ke depan. Alright, so negative X sin XY. Okay, and then next, what happened to this? X squared Z.
0.
We get 0. Yes, 0. Okay, so we get 0. Okay, next. Yeah. What happened to this? X over Y plus 1. Nak differentiate ni.
Indah atas.
So this is actually equivalent to differentiate ni. X negative X over Y plus 1 to the power of negative 1. So nak differentiate macam mana? Negatif ni bawa ke depan kan? This negative bring this forward, so becomes positive. Negatif jadi positif kan? Okay, so X2 constant just maintain. And then Y plus 1, negative 1 minus 1, so becomes negative 2. And then you darabkan dengan differentiate Y ni, you dapat apa? 1. Okay, so you dapat 1 macam tu. Okay, so we can rewrite Fy as sebagai
1 over Y.
Yes, 1 over Y minus X sin XY. And then plus, okay, negative 2 can be taken down here, so we can get plus X over Y plus 1 squared, like this. This is your Fy. Okay, next we need to find, cari Fz. Fz, itulah Fz. Okay, so now differentiate ln XY with respect to Z, we get what?
0.
0, okay. Next, differentiate cos XY with respect to Z, we get?
0.
Also 0. Sebab X dengan Y ni just constant saja. Okay, what happened here? X squared Z, differentiate with respect to Z, we will get?
Product rule.
Product rule, kenapa product rule pula?
Sekejap. X squared. X squared.
Ini kan Z kan? Ni kan second method.
Zero.
Second method ayah ni. Tak juga, bukan 0. Ni Z variable. Ni kan Z variable. So Z variable X squared becomes a constant. Yes, X just constant. Okay, so differentiate X squared. Z we will get X squared plus X squared. Okay? You guys faham ke tak ni guys?
Faham.
Faham.
Ni topik differentiation ni dia bahaya sebab dia bersangkutan daripada awal tau. So that's why masa start topik 3.2 tu saya tekankan betul-betul variable dengan constant tu. Supaya you boleh fokus pada variable, differentiate variable sahaja. Okay? You kena faham betul-betul cara nak differentiate tu guys. Alright, so now next, the last term ni terhadap Z, differentiate X over Y plus 1 with respect to Z. We will get what?
0.
0, yes, we will get 0. So minus 0. Okay, so Fz is just X squared lah. Okay, now therefore del Z over del Y equals to negative Fy divides by Fz. So we will have negative 1 over Y minus X sin XY plus X over Y plus 1 squared divides by X squared. Okay, you can just leave your answer like this or you can simplify, it's up to you lah. Alright, understand guys? For implicit differentiation?
Yes.
Okay, now I would like to proceed to subtopic 3.5. Okay, 3.5, extrema of functions of two variables. Two variables, okay. Extrema of functions of two variables. Okay, look at the notes. The module Okay, this topic is very important in final exam. Okay, this topic in final exam is very important because for this question, there is only one question in your final exam for topic 3.5. Okay, minimum paling sikit markah untuk soalan ni adalah 15 marks. Only one question with 15 marks. So 15 marks ni tinggi, quite high. So you have to understand how to find the extremum of functions of two variables. Okay, so please give your full attention here. Start topic 3.5 ni penting, very important in final exam. Sebab satu soalan ni je, markah dia 15. Okay, so let us get to know with the physical illustration for all the extremum. We have relative maximum here. Okay, and then the saddle point is the point in between. In between two peaks. Okay, titik tengah-tengah tu dia macam ladang kuda. Okay, saddle point ni dia macam bentuk dia macam di antara dua ni. Dia dekat sini. Di antara dua puncak, dia in between. Here like that. And then of course here, yang bawah ni adalah the relative minimum point lah. Okay, so let me explain to you in detail the step-by-steps how to find all the relative extremum of functions of two variables. Okay, step by step. First step, salin ni. Okay, first step. What you should do is you have to find all critical points. Okay, coordinate lah maksudnya. Coordinate A dengan B. Alright. Guys, the number, okay, how many critical points do we have is depends on the type of function. Okay, if the function involves the power of 3 or power of 4, sometimes we can have more than 2 critical points. Sometimes in final exam, we can have 3 or 4 critical points. It depends on the function fxy. Bergantung kepada fxy yang diberilah. Kalau ada persamaan kuasa 3, mungkin akan ada 3 critical points lah. Okay, bergantung pada function. So, how do we find the critical points is by find the first step is you need to differentiate your function with respect to x and then equate this with 0. Okay, so when you equate this with 0, this is actually your first equation. Equation number 1. Okay, next we need to differentiate our f with y, with respect to y, and then again equate this with 0. So we will have the second equation. Okay, second equation. Equation 2. So in order to find the critical points, we need to solve simultaneously. Okay, solve equation 1 and equation 2 simultaneously. Persamaan serentak. So terpulang lah, you nak buat macam mana. Okay, persamaan serentak ni banyak cara solve dia kan. So it's up to you lah, you already learn this in your secondary school. So apa-apa kaedah pun, jadi you dapat solve simultaneous equation in order to get the coordinate of x and y. Don't worry, I will show you later through the exercises questions lah. Alright, so after we get all the critical points, second step what you should do is what you should do, you have to find fxx, fxy, and fyy. Means you need to differentiate the function twice, or second order partial derivative. Okay, you have to differentiate again your fx here with respect to x and with respect to y. And then you have to differentiate again your fy here with respect to y in order to get fyy. Alright, so after we find fxx, fxy dengan fyy, the third step, okay, the third step is also the decision. Alright, the third step is called as the second derivative test. Nama dia the second derivative test. Okay, second derivative test denoted as D. Okay, D, donkey. D, second derivative test, D equals to, the formula is fxx multiplied by fyy minus fxy squared. Okay, and there are 4 types of conclusion. It depends on the values of D. So conclusion number 1, if you get a positive D, if your D is greater than 0. So what you should do guys, you have to refer to your fxx. You tengok balik your fxx ke atas ni tadi. Lepas you substitute critical point awak tadi, coordinate x dengan y tu, you calculate fxx, dapat positif ke negatif. Kalau positif, okay, if both D positive and fxx also positive, then we can conclude that we will have a relative minimum. Okay, the conclusion is relative minimum. All right, conclusion number 2. Again, if you calculate your D, again, you get greater than 0, but your fxx less than 0. Okay, then the conclusion should be relative maximum. Okay, number 3, if after you calculate your D, you get negative value, less than 0, then no need for you to look at fxx. Straight away, make a conclusion. This should be a saddle point. Okay, maksudnya kalau you dapat D negatif, you tak payah tengok pun fxx. Terus straight away, buat conclusion dia terus. Jadi saddle point conclusion dia. And then number 4, if the values of D equals to 0. Okay, kalau you kira-kira tiba-tiba dapat 0. Okay, this is actually no conclusion. Okay guys, and then in final exam you have to memorize all the 4 cases. You kena ingat ni, hafal ni, 1, 2, 3, 4 cases. Okay, you have to memorize this. Alright, and then guys, what happened if you wrongly calculate your critical points, then you will lose all of the marks. Kalau you salah calculate cari critical point ke atas ni, habis maka bawah pun salah lah. Okay, so the critical part is finding the correct critical point lah sebenarnya. Cari critical point ni make sure nilai itu betul lah. Because kalau tak, habis semua jawapan bawah ni salah. Okay, so that's the steps. Now let's take a look at the exercise. Okay, exercise 3.5. You nak saya buat soalan mana? Pick one question.
5.
Question number?
5.
Number 5. Okay, question number 5. Copy. Exercise 3.5. Question number 5. Okay. Soalan ni nampak je complicated tapi dia mudah je. Nak mudah you expand lah dulu. Darab je. Soalan ni dia simple je guys. So fxy, kalau saya lah, saya akan expand dulu. Kalau you tak nak expand pun you guna product rule lah. Okay, tapi kalau saya nak mudah, saya boleh expand lah. So I expand this. X squared darab x squared kat sini, and then darab kat sini lah. Okay, so we will have x to the 2x to the power of 4 plus x squared y plus
2x squared y.
darab ni, and then this one darab sini So 2x squared y plus y squared, isn't it?
Boleh campur tidak teh?
Boleh apa?
Campur.
Campur lah. Betul lah tu. fxy, selesaikan lah. 2x to the power of 4. Okay, plus 2 times pula. 2 plus 1 kan? So 3x squared y plus y squared. Okay, so this is your fxy now. Ni soalan kita. Okay. We just focus kat sini je. This is our fxy now. So let us find the first step. Okay, step by step. First step, bila you dah buat macam tu. First step kena buat apa guys? Cari, find critical points. Okay, so find critical points. What you should do is you have to differentiate. Find fx dulu. Sorry, fx. Cari fx. So find fx, we differentiate 2x to the power of 4. So we will have 2x to the power of 4 differentiate. Kita akan dapat
8x cubed.
8x cubed. And then differentiate 3x squared. Y?
6xy.
Yes, 6xy. Differentiate y squared, we get 0. So we have 0. Okay, after that, okay, this is your first equation. Equation number 1. Okay, next, find your fy. Find your fy, differentiate this with respect to y, we get 0, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now differentiate this, we will get
3x squared.
yes,
3x squared.
squared. Yes. How about this? Differentiate this with respect to y.
2y.
2y.
Yes, plus 2y equals to 0. Okay, now you kena solve simultaneous equation ni. Equation 1 dengan equation 2. So paling mudah you nak ambil yang mana? Which one? First or second equation?
Second.
Yes, kalau saya akan ambil second. Okay. So from second equation, solve simultaneous equation ni boleh dua-dua pun boleh mana-mana pun boleh sebenarnya. Let's say from equation 2 lah. Saya ambil from equation 2. We have 3x squared plus 2y equals to 0. Therefore, y equals to apa ni? Negative 3x squared over 2. Okay, negative 3x squared over 2. So what should you do now is we have to
In equation 1.
substitute. Yes. So substitute in equation 1. Substitute in equation 1. Okay. So we will have 8x cubed plus 6x multiplied by negative 3x squared over 2 equals to 0. Like this. Boleh faham guys?
Faham.
So we will have 8x cubed minus ni 2, 3, 3 jadi 9 kan?
9x squared. X cubed.
9x cubed juga kan? Equals to 0. Oh my god, soalan ni senang je guys sebenarnya. X cubed equals to 0. Of course, x equals to 0. Oh, this is soalan senang je guys. So when x equals to 0, what happened to y? Y equals to negative 3 over 2. Of course lah 0. So soalan ni mudah je sebenarnya. Sebab dia dapat 0 je. So the critical point is only 0 and 0. Only one critical point for this question. Okay, so kita test satu je lah titik nanti. Alright, so now critical point is 0, 0. So next step, second step.
Cari fxx.
Yes, okay, we need to find fxx. Fxx, differentiate again your fx. Refer yang ni. Differentiate again fx ni terhadap x. You jangan ambil yang asal You cannot look at you jangan tengok yang ni. Jangan tengok yang ni sebab yang ni fxy. Kita nak yang lepas dari differentiate dah. So kita kena refer ni fx because we want to differentiate again. So we refer to this function 8x cubed, differentiate with respect to x, we will get 24x squared. 24x squared and then plus 6xy, differentiate with respect to x again. So we will get 6y, yes, plus 6y. And then fxy, fxy ni nak refer pada apa? Kita nak differentiate, kita nak tengok function yang mana?
Y.
Bukan, nak differentiate fx. fx lagi lah.
Differentiate.
Kita refer pada fx lagi lah. Tapi kali kedua ni kita differentiate terhadap y. Okay.
Y.
So 8x cubed dapat 0, 6xy differentiate with respect to y, we will get 6x, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, next fyy. Nak kena refer apa?
Equation
Y.
Yes, equation of fy. Kena refer yang ni. So differentiate this again with respect to y. 3x squared ni constant dapat 0. So differentiate to y, we will get 2.
2.
Okay, so now find your d, third step. Third step is calculating your d. So d equals to fxx darab fyy minus fxy squared. So we will have 24x squared plus 6y multiplied by 2 minus 6x squared. So you akan dapat 24 is 48x squared plus 12y minus 36x squared. Ini sah-sah, no conclusion ni saya rasa ni. Okay, so now test 0, 0.
Positif.
Test,
0.
test 0, 0. You kena, yes, you kena substitute x equals to 0, y equals to 0. Bukan settle ni. There no conclusion ni, kan?
No conclusion equal to 0.
Sebab D you akan dapat bila substitute 0, everything is 0, plus 0 minus 0. So D equals to 0, so no conclusion. Okay, senang sangat soalan ni. Tengok balik soalan tadi yang mana lebih susah. I think question number 3. Dalam video dah ada belum soalan nombor 3 ni?
Sudah.
Dah ada? Okay, so kita tengok tutorial lah Tutorial, kita tengok tutorial question. Ni, relative extrema. Okay, relative extrema, saddle points. Alright, kita cari yang complicated sikit. Okay, let us do question number 29 ni. Copy. Ni. Tutorial, kita tengok dapat berapa titik kritikal yang ni. Tutorial. Chapter 3. Question number 29. Agak-agak ada berapa critical point ni. Okay, so jom kita buat soalan ni. First, find fx, differentiate with respect to x, we get 2x plus 4, senang juga, equals to 0. This is your first equation. Alright, and then fy.
6y minus 9.
Kenapa? 9y squared kan? Minus 9 equals to 0. Okay, so we have this. Alright. So now, okay guys, for this question, very simple lah juga. Silap saya ambil soalan ni, tak apalah, teruskan je. So 2x from 1. 2x plus 4 equals to 0, therefore x equals to negative 2. And then from 2, 9y squared minus 9 equals to 0, so y squared equals to 1. Okay.
Negative 1 dengan 1.
Yes, so y equals to 1 and negative 1. So guys, therefore, bila case macam ni, you ada 2 titik untuk y kan? Therefore, the coordinate, the critical points are, Okay, dalam kes ni kita ada dua lah. The first one is negative 2, 1. And the second is negative 2, negative 1. Okay, so there are two critical points here. Okay, so let us find, next step is find fxx. Okay, so differentiate again with respect to x. Differentiate this with respect to x. We get 2 fxy. Differentiate again with respect to y. Term ni dapat apa?
0.
0. Okay, so we get 0. fyy. Differentiate.
18y.
18Y.
Yes, 18y. Good. 18y. So next, D, calculate this. We have fxx multiplied by fyy minus fxy squared. So of course 2 times 18y minus 0. So dapatlah 36y. Okay. So, okay, biasanya guys dalam test, dalam final exam, saya suka buat table macam ni because we have more than one critical points, right? So we have 1, the values of x, and this is the conclusion. Okay. So for the first column is the critical point. And this is your D, the values of D. Here is the values of fxx. And then here should be conclusion lah. Okay, so we need to test both of this coordinate. So let us say we test for negative 2, 1. So kita ada dua titik tadi kan, negative 2, 1. So calculate your D, negative 2, 1. Ni, apa nilai D
36.
untuk ni? 36.
Positif.
Yes, positif. So bila positif kena tengok fxx tak?
Kena.
Kenalah. So fxx kita adalah positif. Yes, so fxx is
Relative minimum.
So the conclusion is relative minimum. Yes, minimum. And then for the second coordinate, negative 2, negative 1.
Negatif.
Negative 36. So negative, D negative. Kena tengok tak fxx?
Kena.
Kena.
Tak.
Tak payah kan? No need, right? No need. Sebab dia negatif. So no need, no need. So you buat dash je.
Betul.
Tak perlu fxx. Yes.
Saddle point.
Yes, very good. Therefore, the answer is saddle point. Okay, did you understand, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so untuk quiz hari Jumaat ni, subtopik hanya 3.1 until 3.4 sahajalah. But for 3.5 ni kita akan cover dalam final exam dan juga assignment. So, markah dia sangat banyak lah. So make sure you faham betul-betul steps ni. Okay. So guys, you can do the rest of the exercises and tutorials. If you have any question, then you can just WhatsApp me personally. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that's all for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor.
Welcome.
Thank you, Doctor.
Welcome.
Doctor, the attendance?
Attendance. Wait a minute. Attendance mana tadi saya copy ni jap. Oops. Attendance, Control C. Yeah. You can.
Right, thank you, Doctor.
Okay, welcome.
Doctor, can I ask something? If let's say it's 3.4, right? The question,
Okay.
use method 2 and then the marks provided for 5 marks, do we get full mark or not?
Sorry, can you repeat? Sorry.
If let's say for question, the question given, they ask about
3.4, implicit differentiation. Okay, 3.4.
the question, right? If let's say we use method 2, then will we get full mark?
Method 2, yes, of course you get full mark, yes.
Oh, so
You
it
can use
doesn't-
ideal method. That's why I suggest my student use second method. It's much easier. You still can get full marks. We do have answer scheme for the first and second method. We accept both methods. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Okay? All right.
And then one last question.
Okay.
The 36y in the last question just now, right? The 29 one.
To 29, okay, 29. Yes, Pei, what's the question?
The last one, right, about the CP. If let's say I got 3 points, I have to substitute inside, is it?
Yes. You have to substitute inside this y ni. Sebab you nak calculate nilai d tu, you kena substitute kat sini lah, dekat y ni.
Oh, okay.
Substitute the coordinate. Sama je macam tadi, paying. Cuma sekarang ni saya guna table. Sebab dia banyak titik puput, dia banyak titik point.
Oh, so if let's say they got x and y, I substitute the one I found in
Yeah, kalau let's say soalan tiba-tiba you punya function complicated, dia ada 36xy plus x squared. Misal kata macam ni, you punya d tu macam ni. You kena substitute dekat xy dengan x squared ni dengan coordinate critical point you tu. Maksudnya you kena kira, you have to calculate your d.
Only at D, right? We will substitute the X.
Only at D, yes, only at D. Tapi macam saya cakap tadi lah, kalau critical point you salah daripada atas, dia akan drag markah sampai ke bawah lah sebab you ganti nilai yang salah.
Oh, okay.
So that's why critical point tu sangat penting lah. Okay.
Thank you, Doctor.
Welcome. Okay guys, bye.